Another embarrassment for Benjamin Netanyahu has emerged as Israeli Defense Forces troops come under renewed public scrutiny. A West Bank checkpoint scandal has once again put the Israeli military in the spotlight over alleged misconduct during routine searches. Reports claim that hundreds of dollars were taken from a Palestinian individual during a security inspection at a checkpoint. The IDF has acknowledged that troops were involved in taking cash, but has described the incident as accidental in its explanation. The controversy has sparked fresh debate over conduct at military checkpoints across the occupied West Bank and borders with Lebanon and Gaza. Israeli Defense Forces soldiers reportedly took hundreds of dollars in cash along with credit cards from a Palestinian man near Ramallah. The incident took place in the West Bank during what was described as a routine security inspection. According to Haaretz, the Palestinian man later reported the incident to the Palestinian Authority Liaison Office. The complaint was then formally passed on to the Israel Defense Forces for an internal review. Following an internal military investigation, the soldiers involved reportedly admitted to taking the items. The IDF later returned the cash, credit cards, and identification documents to the rightful owner. However, the Israeli army has not announced any disciplinary action against the soldiers involved, raising further questions over accountability. Even as Hezbollah and Israel continue to exchange fire, the IDF is now facing a separate and unexpected internal challenge. The Israeli military has come under allegations of widespread looting during its operations in southern Lebanon. In response, the IDF Chief of Staff has reportedly initiated a formal investigation into the conduct of its soldiers. Eyal Zami is said to have condemned the incidents as a serious breach, warning that such actions could undermine the force's core values. Israeli media reports indicate that military police have been assigned to lead the inquiry into these allegations. The Military Police Investigatory Unit is expected to examine claims of looting carried out during deployments in southern Lebanon. Additional measures reportedly include the deployment of personnel at key entry and exit points along the Lebanon border. Authorities are also expected to inspect all returning vehicles to identify any items suspected of being unlawfully taken. The probe follows testimonies suggesting that soldiers removed property from civilian homes during operations. Items reportedly taken include motorcycles, televisions, paintings, furniture, and household goods. Some soldiers have claimed that unit commanders were aware of such incidents, according to reports in Haaretz. Images circulating on social media also appeared to show soldiers using abandoned homes during their deployment. In response, the IDF has stated that both disciplinary and criminal action will be pursued if violations are confirmed. Similar allegations have previously surfaced in relation to operations in Gaza, where some personnel were reportedly convicted in comparable cases. As Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vows to continue Israel's multi-front war, a major internal crisis is hitting the Israel Defense Forces, exposing a deepening mental health toll on its troops. An explosive report has revealed a growing mental health crisis within the IDF, with rising numbers of soldiers showing signs of severe psychological distress after prolonged combat. A report by the Israeli newspaper Haaretz exposed a sharp rise in suicides among Israeli soldiers, a worrying trend that has intensified as the conflict drags on across several battlefields. The Haaretz report indicates that nearly 10 soldiers have taken their own lives in recent weeks alone, underscoring how acute the situation has become within the ranks. Haaretz report said, and I quote, "At least 10 active duty soldiers have died by suicide since the beginning of the year, including 6 in April. 3 other soldiers who served in the reserves during the war also died by suicide this month while no longer in active service. 2 police officers, including a conscripted border police officer, also died by suicide this month." Unquote. Earlier data suggested that there were 22 soldier suicides in 2025, marking the highest such number in the IDF in at least 15 years and hinting at a longer-running strain. The report linked many of these cases to symptoms associated with post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and depression, which often emerge after repeated exposure to combat. Rising suicide numbers come after extended deployments and difficult operations in the Gaza Strip, southern Lebanon, northern Syria, and other parts of the Middle East. The psychological pressure on troops reportedly intensified after the October 7, 2023 Hamas attacks and the subsequent large-scale military campaigns, which have stretched the IDF's human resources. Despite this, the Haaretz investigation claimed that some mental health support measures within the military were scaled back, even as demand for care grew. Earlier in 2026, Israel canceled the mandatory psychological debriefings for reservists, a move that has drawn criticism from therapists and human rights advocates. The newspaper reported that many soldiers returned from the front line without receiving any formal psychological evaluation, leaving their trauma to accumulate in silence. Anonymous IDF soldier said, and I quote, "It's simply irresponsible to send us home like this. They spend billions on munitions and interceptors, and they save money on this? It's like putting a Band-Aid on a bleeding main artery." Unquote. Some families of fallen soldiers have expressed frustration, arguing that the mental health system is inadequate to cope with the scale of stress soldiers are under. The strain comes at a time when Israeli forces remain engaged on multiple fronts, with ongoing operations in the occupied Gaza Strip, Lebanon, and along other borders, keeping the pressure on troops high.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.